Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Am I the Jerk for Not Sharing a Bank Account? I'm a 29-year-old female, and I've been with my fiance, a 30-year-old male, who we'll call D, for 10 years. We were supposed to get married in the fall. We don't currently live together, and last week we met with a financial advisor. I've been working with him for 6 years personally. My fiance has never spoken to anyone about finances, so we picked him as I trust him already. I talked about combining assets as we plan on completely sharing finances. I was worried about bringing in very little to the table. I finished my specialized training last year, so I've either been a full-time student with no actual income or making very small salary that hardly covered my bills since high school. I basically have my car and minimal savings, but I have paid off all my debt. I currently make about 75% of what D makes. D has been working for the last 6 years in a very well-paying job, so I figured he'd have more assets. Some foreshadowing. His finances were so terrible that my financial advisor actually called to speak with me after our meeting to tell me to keep my finances separate from D's. Sounds like a joke setup. Your finances are so bad, my financial advisor called me to tell me not to join assets with you. Although the punchline is more sad than actually, funny. The reason is that D is essentially supporting 7 other adults, his parents and 5 siblings, 4 which are adults. His parents had 7 kids and can't support them on 1 minimum wage income. They had a lot of government aid, but now the kids are adults and that's stopped. I knew D helped out when his siblings were younger. I thought it was admirable that he was willing to help to ensure his siblings had a decent home to live in. Now that they're all grown, I don't agree with continuing to help them like he is. And honestly, now seeing what he's actually paid, I think it's been way too much. In the last 3 months, he spent over $15,000 on them for things like repairing a roof, putting in an AC unit. AC is not standard or necessary where we live, heat is, and then paying for them to run it, etc. I am floored. That makes 2 of us, Opie. I told him I wasn't comfortable sharing bank accounts anymore. I tried to be diplomatic, but instead it turned into a fight. He was angry that I don't want to help those in need, only my family. I lent my brother all of my savings, $5,000 last year when he fell on hard times, but he's paid me back almost $3,000. I wouldn't mind helping his family occasionally, or if they use the help to try to turn things around. My family can give and take. I gave my brother money because I knew he was going to be good on it. D's family just takes, spends, and asks for more. I'm worried that if we share accounts, then D will start giving my money away too. That is a legitimate concern, OP. I told him the only way I can see this working is if we keep things separate. We split bills equally and continue to control our own money, though I worry about how this would work with our kids. I just don't want our family to suffer from his mistakes. D is calling me the jerk, as is his family and some friends. D went around telling our friends about how I'm a hypocrite and I don't trust him. Edit. Thank you all for the support and advice, everyone. It is appreciated. D ended up seeing this post and it forced my hand a little earlier than I was prepared for. But we talked and argued, but ultimately we're done. He admitted to hiding this from me because he knew I'd be upset and want him to go back to counseling. I didn't realize he had stopped therapy last year. He never said he was still going, but he did imply it a number of times and admitted to hiding that too. He has a lot of baggage. His parents did some serious damage to him, and while he's done an amazing job of getting out of that situation and breaking the cycle, he's got a lot of baggage. And unfortunately, that baggage is not something I'm willing to carry because I just can't trust him anymore after his massive lie. He feels responsible for his siblings' struggles so much, and while he hasn't said it, I think he wants his parents' approval too. He knows it's not healthy what he's doing, but he's also admitted that he doesn't really want to stop because, again, he feels like he owes it to his family since he's the only one who's doing well. He doesn't think a family needs a big house, an apartment is fine, or that kids need extra activities like piano or dance lessons. He thinks we would basically be living off of my salary, and we would, but it won't be the life I want, and I don't think I'll ever trust him again. And I don't want that kind of marriage. It breaks my heart, but I need to leave it for my own sanity. All right, OP. So first off, what do you folks think? Do you think OP overreacted here? Do you think that they should have just gone ahead and merged finances, even though their fiance said he was doing some of these things?
No.
Amber says no. I say, yes, of course you should have, OP. Why wouldn't you? I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I mean, he's just going to give away all your money to family members who are grown adults who will, of course, go ahead and spend it on things like AC units that they don't need. I mean, what could be better for your family than having to support, not just you and, your kids, but 7 other people too? Seems reasonable to me. No, I on a serious note, I think that OP has met a unfortunate situation. They were trying to help their fiance out. They actually had a plan set up. He was supposed to be going to therapy to help work through some of these problems, but it looks like he just ended up being like, nah, I don't need therapy. I'm fine with the things that I'm doing here. And then he hid it from you, and now he's also hiding his financial issues from you as well. And he's spending all his money. Unless he makes some major turnarounds in life, and I don't even know if he could possibly regain your trust, I don't see any reason why OP should go back to them. So I do think that has made the best decision for them and their future family. You can't trust this man not to spend all the money. And that's just plain and simple. It is admirable. I do agree with OP here that it's admirable that he wants to help his family out, but this is going beyond helping the family out to the point where it's detrimental to himself. So, anyhow, OP, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, and if your financial advisor went as far to warn you, I'd take his advice. Fiance calling you the jerk and bad-mouthing you to others is not okay. If that's how he acts about this, what happens when you have other big disagreements like buying a house, having kids, or how to raise them? Don't tie your finances to him, obviously, and even get a prenup if you go through with this. It actually sounds like OP dodged a bullet when their wedding got canceled, to be quite honest. And I mean, I agree with this person completely. That's actually a point that I wanted to talk about, but it slipped my mind here. Is like he went behind OP's back and just started being like, oh yeah, hey people, my fiance is being unreasonable and a hypocrite. She won't let me give away money when she gave away money, which isn't even what happened. And that's not good. Like, to distort the truth like that, how can OP possibly trust that they're not going to distort the truth in the future? So I do think that this is a really important point. And then of course his family is going to call OP the jerk. He's literally she's trying to take away their supply of money here. So, of course, they're going to be like, yeah, you're a jerk. Why would you want to take this money away from us? Oh no, OP, not the jerk, but you need to lay down an ultimatum. You can't marry this guy unless he gets on the same page with you. You can't even share a life with him if he's spending $5,000 a month on a bunch of deadbeat adults and won't even hear of forcing them to move forward with their own lives. This will be the rest of your life, with him and his family insulting you for every rational choice you make. God forbid that you have children. Get out of this relationship. You still have time to find someone great and have life that you want with them. Not the jerk. I'd suggest that you reevaluate this relationship. His family is now full of adults, and all he's doing is enabling them to be leeches. They're calling you names because you just burst their bubble. All right, folks, I'm back. After severe technical difficulties here, my computer has been having a lot of problems charging. It's a very old computer at this point in time, and I keep adding things to it to make it last longer, but unfortunately, I think it's kind of coming to the point where it's actually at the end of its life here, which is a bit sad. I mean, it's an 11-year-old computer, close to 10-year-old computer, so it's lasted me a long time, but it looks like I have the issue resolved right now. It seems to be actually recording again, so we are all set. But by the magic of editing, you'll have not noticed any time pass. All right, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for pointing out my aunt has a favorite kid at the family dinner? My aunt Mara, 45, has 2 kids. Reese, a 13-year-old, and Laura, a 9-year-old. Mara has always clearly preferred Laura. Reese always knew it too. My aunt always makes sure that Laura can do the extracurriculars that she wants to do. She just lets her drop out at any time, even if she's paid in advance. And she gives her the birthday that she wants every year. And in general, she's more affectionate and interested in what Laura is up to. With Reese, she pushes her into dance when she was 5 and made her do dance for 4 years. Reese never liked dance and never seemed to fit in. Mara hated it. She would ask why she couldn't put more effort in, etc. That she had always wanted a daughter who did dance. I, an 18-year-old female, was around there a lot because Aunt Mara babysat me for my parents while they worked, and I just had to wait at her house until my parents got home so we could save on electric bills and stuff. I once asked Aunt Mara why Reese couldn't do something that she wanted to do, and she told me that they didn't have the money for it. Reese never got to do another one, but Laura has several: soccer, dance, art, and swim right now. But she has done basketball, photography, gymnastics, which really upset Reese because she always wanted to do gymnastics, guitar, piano, drums, and singing. Aunt Mara also discards Reese's plans and has made her cancel to look after her sister, but has also made Reese skip her plans when Laura has them and they conflict. In the last year and a half, Reese has decided to say, "Goodbye, everyone. So long, Felicia." Bye, Felicia? I think that's what it is. She definitely weighed down by it all. We talked about it and she said, "I'm the only one who acknowledges it, but I have definitely noticed." We were all gathered for a family dinner on Sunday. It was my grandparents' birthday this week, and so the family decided to celebrate on Sunday. And Reese was in a really bad mood. Aunt Mara told her that she was bringing down the mood, and Reese got up and left the table. Aunt Mara said that she didn't know what was up with her, but she was always acting like the whole world was out to get her. I mentioned that maybe if she didn't show such blatant favoritism, Reese would be happier. My aunt and parents were mad that I would bring it up. My grandparents asked what I meant. Aunt Mara said I didn't know what I was talking about, and that Reese is such a drama queen. I told my grandparents what I meant, and they were shocked. Aunt Mara said Reese never wanted to do anything. Grandma remembered how often Reese would ask to do gymnastics. My parents told me that it wasn't the correct time or place to bring it up, and that I embarrassed Aunt Mara. Am I the jerk? You know who embarrassed Aunt Mara? Aunt Mara embarrassed Aunt Mara. What do you folks think? Do you think that this was not the time or place to bring this up? Maybe it wasn't the time or place. Maybe OP should have just sat in quietly and never said anything at all. When would the right time and place be, after all, to bring up family drama? You know, that's just it. It's like, maybe this wasn't the time or place, but there was never going to be the perfect time to embarrass her aunt. And maybe this was actually the perfect time, because now the grandparents see the blatant favoritism that is going on, and maybe they'll be more sympathetic towards her. I think that Aunt Mara here has some issues. I think she is showing favoritism from, if your letter is accurate, and that's a shame. That is a real shame. So, anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, your aunt's behavior is what embarrassed her. And it's going to have to be done, so regardless of when you brought it up. The fact that OP's parents were okay with a child being treated that way is even more concerning. Yeah, LOL, it's never the right time to embarrass someone. Or, from another perspective, Is there any good time to embarrass someone? Not the jerk and good for you, OP. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I'm probably going to ramble for a minute here just because I have some stuff I'm going to talk about here. You'll notice that the camera is new. It's different. The reason why that happened is because I broke my phone this week. I'll show you what's going on with my old phone. As you can see, cracked it pretty good here. Now, what happened is I was setting up an exercise bike and it flipped off the exercise bike because I was an idiot, and when I was unfolding it, it just kind of flopped out. The reason why it flopped out is because it has this really weird curve back here. So, yeah, that's what happened with that. So later this week, what I plan on doing is I'm actually going to replace the screen and battery in this old phone and get it up and running and up to be new. It'll just become another phone to use for other things. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to use it for yet. But I have a pile of old discarded phones sitting on my desk that I like to use from time to time on absolutely nothing because I haven't found... Well, okay, that's not true. See, this is Amber's old phone, and everyone's like, why does Brian have so many phones? Well, the thing is this. The Amber's old phone I want to use, and this would have been the replacement for mine. But I can't find any custom ROMs for it that are up to date and receiving security updates. So this is the reason why I've stuck with my old phone for so long. It's now close to 6 years old. And the reason why I've stuck with that phone for this long is because I can get security updates for it still using Lineage OS. It's just a custom Android ROM. So what has kind of turned me off towards Amber's phone is it just doesn't have any up-to-date. It actually crashes a lot from the ROM that I've put on it, and so that's kind of unfortunate. So later this week, I will be taking that phone apart. Maybe I'll record it. I'll record it hopefully on this machine here, the phone I have here, and we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping to be able to take this phone I have and actually hook up my microphone to it and record on it. Android 11 tends to be, from what I've heard, a little bit smoother of a process to do that. So I'm really hoping that that's going to actually work. So that's the goal here, and if I can use this phone to record some more remote things, I actually have some other plans because being tethered to my computer is a little difficult in sometimes. So yeah, what else is there? Oh yeah, and yeah, there was an interruption in the middle of this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave that in there or not. My computer's dying. It's sad. I'll have to replace it. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah. But that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.